you have to be ready for this more than any other psychedelic. It will just pull things up from the roots of your soul and just put them straight in front of your face, and it's just so like shockingly truthful that it can just leave you just leave you like crumpled on the floor.
In my previous video about ayahuasca, I talked about my own personal, joyous, transformational experience, and the comments I've received on that video have been so great and so supportive that I want to express my deepest gratitude to this community. This video, however, is going to have a darker tone, because to get to the place I described in that last video, I had to go through some extremely harrowing times, which involved reliving traumatic events and coming face to face with that which has haunted me for all of my life. And I want to show this because I think it's important to see both sides of the coin, because ayahuasca is not a magic bullet. And if you're looking to heal from trauma, as I was, then you need to understand that there is a journey that takes place, and that sometimes it can involve deeply disturbing visions and emotional states as you stare your demons in the face. So I want to put this out there so that nobody's under the illusion that it's all unicorns and rainbows. That said, I view this as a no pain, no gain scenario. So if you're at a place where you feel ready to climb your own personal mountain, then believe me, it is well worth the effort. Thanks for watching.
I want to talk about what happened last night in the second ayahuasca ceremony, which was an extremely difficult experience for me, possibly one of the most challenging. Basically, it all relates to the issues I have around the suicide of my mother, and it's kind of something I'd known, but it just hit me. The realization kind of hit me that although I've gotten older and this thing was so far in my past, and so much time has passed, and I suppose the simplest way of putting this is I have never gotten over my mother's suicide. I felt it acutely last night. It's still something that's so raw to me, and yeah, I guess I'm just wondering, like, how can I move on past this? And perhaps this is part of me moving on, is that I have to sort of really process this reality. But it was so emotionally raw. I was seeing myself through the eyes of the 3-year-old child that I was at that time. And that feeling of a child who is, even, any regular child, when they lose, they think they've lost their parent, they've lost sight of their parent in the supermarket even, then they start to say like, where is my mother? Where is she? And that was what I felt last night. I was like, where is my mother? Like, seriously, where is she? Like, she's supposed to be here. Like, we're all supposed to have a mother. Where is my mother? Like, somebody answer me. Like, where is she? Like, it doesn't make sense that she's not here. This is supposed to be how it is, that your mother is not supposed to leave you. So why am I here on my own? Why am I feeling so lonely and abandoned and rejected? And I mean, this is what ayahuasca does. Ayahuasca can show you things in a very brutal way, and I knew this. I knew this coming in. This was not unexpected. In fact, it's kind of almost what I wanted. I want to face these things. I'm trying to overcome these things, these traumas from my past, but it doesn't make it any less painful. And I think the thing that was missing from last night, I wanted so much to unburden this, but that part just didn't happen. I wanted to purge it out, or let it go, or just release it somehow, but it was just the center stage. It just would not go. Just this pure despondence of just where is my mother? I want to talk a little bit about here how this fits around sort of ayahuasca as a whole, because I'm sharing this because I want people to be aware of what they're getting into here. A lot of people will say ayahuasca, it's just another drug, it's just another psychedelic. It's not. There's just other psychedelics just don't hit you as hard as this in such an emotional and visceral way. And this was last night, and I'm still feeling it now. And it's something that you really have to have in mind when you come to do ayahuasca, when you make the decision to do ayahuasca. It's one thing when you have one of the amazing ceremonies, of which the beauty within this experience is unfathomable, but it wants you to do the work. It wants to. It's not about having a sort of a good time, and you have to be ready for this more than any other psychedelic. It will just pull things up from the roots of your soul and just put them straight in front of your face, and it's just so shockingly truthful, that it can just leave you just leave you crumpled on the floor. Now, sometimes this is what you need. I think for someone like myself, this is what I need. I need this kind of sledgehammer to smash down these walls. But fuck me, it's hard. It's brutal. And I want to make sure that, because I see so many posts on forums of people who have these kind of experiences on ayahuasca and are completely shocked by it. They thought they were just going to have an experience and come down in the morning and it would be fine, and what's the worst that can happen? And yeah, it can shake you to your core. And trust me, I've done pretty much all the psychedelics, and there is nothing like it in terms of how turbulent it can be. And it's not just the mental turbulence. You've got to remember, when you're going through this process, you're feeling physical discomfort. You might be feeling completely displaced. It's all this bizarre stuff is going on, particularly in one of these traditional settings where you've got all this chanting and stuff like that. This is a very, very potent thing to go through, and yeah, I just want to make sure that people are aware of it. Now, this might sound like it's all kind of negative. I don't think it is. I actually see this as a very productive experience, because this is what I needed, sort of to understand about my own situation, that this is my reality. And I'm hoping that, having now sort of had that sort of had that ground into me, that I can now move past this. And that's going to be a struggle. That's going to be a struggle to even make myself want to drink this stuff again tomorrow night. But this is what you sign up for. And I guess I just want to make sure that I can communicate that as best I can, to make sure that everyone knows what they're getting for, because it's ayahuasca is not just another drug.